And now we're going to get into it for our three big games of the week. You saw it on the thumbnail. We're going to start with Packers Broncos. In this one, it is going to be at Denver, and the Packers are 3-point favorites, and I think that line may have moved to 2.5, and the over under is 44. In this game, the Packers head into it 9-3-1, and the Broncos are 11-2. So they're both leading teams in their conferences. The Packers own their division, the Broncos own their division, and they're also the 1 seed. So two of the most competitive teams really in the entire league. And it's going to be interesting to kind of break down how they match up against each other. So let's do that. The Packers, so far this season, they've been kind of known as this sort of balanced team that is more defensive heavy in the end of the day with the addition of Micah Parsons. And their offense is a balanced attack as well. They run the ball and they set up the pass. They're good in third downs and the red zone. And that's sort of how they've, led to wins this year. And it seems like they've gotten much better over the past 4 weeks. The Broncos, like I said, they're the 1 seed. They're on a 10-game winning streak entering this week. And their success has been built mostly on their defense, the offensive line, and their ability to close out those one-score games, however that may get done. And I'm just here for this game. It's going to be pretty awesome, seeing them go after it. They both have not many weaknesses, so we really got to get down to the nuances to see what's going to make the difference in this game. They've won, the Packers, the last 4 games they've played, and 2 of those games, the most recent ones, were against the Lions and Bears. So they've taken control of their division and played 2 very competitive games in a row. So that could work for you 2 ways. It could kind of wear you down. Does it galvanize you? We'll just have to see. But it is Toyotathon, so I tend to think that this is just what this team is going to do for the rest of the season. And their offense has definitely shown up with Toyotathon, as Jordan Love has played really well in those past 2 games, particularly to really outscore teams like the Lions and the Bears, as well as the Packers defense did play. They did score 28 or more in both of those games. But their defense, too, has really come on, and I think a big reason for that is Micah settling in. He's got 6 sacks in the past 4 games, so he's already got 12.5 on the season. So much for that slow start. This is kind of how we expected the Packers to be this season, is what they're playing like right now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they are looking about as lethal as they can look, and yeah, why not? Because of Toyotathon. So who are the Broncos? They've been sustaining wins recently. They've just been continuously doing what they're doing, winning by 1 possession. Joey would be very mad if I didn't mention how one of those games was like 1 point to the Commanders in overtime, and it's just not very attractive.
Do you feel like you can get away with that in the playoffs?
No. Not playing like that, but it's relative because they do it against anyone they play, because the defense they have and the run game just brings everyone down to those nuanced games where every moment matters, and they've just been the ones doing it in the fourth quarter. And speaking of that, I think I saw a stat last week that said they haven't scored a touchdown in the third quarter this season. Did you know that?
Are you serious?
Doesn't that add up though? Because in the fourth quarter, they're like top 6, and they score 8.3 points in the fourth quarter. So basically, something around a touchdown and a field goal, or just a touchdown. But that's really what it's been from this Broncos team this season, is kind of figuring you out the whole game, holding you on defense, making sure you don't run away with it, and then them kind of soaring back in that fourth quarter. I'm sure the defensive points allowed aren't quite the same trend, because they've just so solid. Top 3 unit on that side of the ball, and that's a big reason why they're not breaking. So looking at the core pieces of the identities of the offenses and defenses, it's the passing game and the efficiency for the Packers, but a pass rush can certainly break through this Matt LaFleur schemed, well-balanced offense. But defensively, they're just really strong overall. Their only weakness is really corner and like the jump balls, like we saw in that Dallas game, and even that's cooled off. Their special teams, though, that has hurt them this season, so keep note of that. to me, the Broncos, for them, it's the offensive line that really makes it all work. The short passing game and the run game. Neither of them are great, but they both work consistently because the line's always there. Bo Nix just managing the game, leading the charge on that front as well. Defensively, like I said, top 3 unit. They're really good against the pass, and their pass rush is good. Their ability to stop the run in this game is going to be huge. They're going to have to do that, I think, if they want to slow down the Packers' offense to bring them within, winning distance. And as far as injuries go, the Broncos have a few questionable guys in the trenches, but the Packers are relatively healthy, so nothing breaking there. And then as far as excuse me 1 second, I have to refresh this. Okay, so for me, this one is really not as hard to predict as I thought it would be going into it, because this Packers team, they're actually even better in the fourth quarter than the Broncos are. And a big reason for that, I think, is Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. And this has been a thing throughout Jordan Love's career, is him kind of being a ghost for the first half and then showing up in the second half. It's rarely, I feel like, the other way around. Like, yeah, he's inconsistent, but typically it's throughout the game, he kind of figures it out. And they're number 1 in the NFL, 9.5 in, points in the fourth quarter. And, the teams behind them, Detroit, Buffalo, surprisingly the New York Jets, but you could suppose that that's garbage time. But that's, clearly not what it is with this Packers team. And in Denver, it kind of makes it a question. Could be cold, the mile high and all that kind of stuff with the special teams. But overall, I just think the Packers are going to come away with this one. The Broncos really haven't played the level of competition recently. And I'm more impressed with the Packers. I think they're hotter now. So I think they'll win 26-23. Green Bay, -2.5. If it's -3, I'm staying away. And over 44. Dan, what are your thoughts on this matchup? And who do you think is going to win?
Bro, listen. You can't lie. I did hate on the Packers.
Yeah.
For the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thoroughly impressed at what the chemistry looks like now. And now that they look like they should be, that they're playing like they should have been since the beginning. So you could see why my frustration was there, because you can't invest so much into a defense and it not work immediately. But seeing how they are now, I genuinely think, right, to your point that you always bring up with the Patriots and their fluky wins, I think this is the Broncos' best test, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure.
This is like the Packers got the train rolling, the defense is on fire, and now what's it going to look like for the Broncos? And if the Broncos come out with this, bro, that shit.
It would impress me if it depends how they do it, but I would be impressed.
Yes, 100%. But for us to say, again, we'd be both shocked. It's facts. So because of that, I'm gonna come out with the Packers.
Okay.
And the Packers are gonna come out and they're gonna win 21-17.
21-17. So you foresee the defense kind of being because I do think the Packers defense could be the level of the Broncos. It just, like you said, I feel like it's rare the Packers have played as a complete team up until very recently. So it's we're not quite looking at it that way. But like I said about Micah, I think that's scary. I think if I'm any team, I don't want to play him right now. But if I'm the NFC, I'm not happy that an elite edge rusher has joined this Packers squad, because that's been the issue the past 2 seasons, and they've gotten better every time they've injected talent like Jacobs and McKinney and now Micah.
Yes.
I think I was always someone who liked this Packers team, to be transparent, but I really do think it is because we see them add talent, and then we see them improve and get stuff out of those guys, and I think it's going to make a big difference in this game, because I think.
Do you also feel, though, if say the Packers don't go all the way to the Super Bowl, right? How many years can you continue to do this? They play. How long has Micah been signed there for? His contract, Micah's contract is this year, is it not?
It's a couple. No, they extended him, or Yeah, they paid him $47.5 million for 4 years or three, I believe. It was one. I think it was
So
three.
yeah, so but my whole point, I guess, saying that is just they keep investing these top players and then trying to draft on offense. It's like I guess for me, their biggest moves was Jacobs, but I feel like the running back position was not always their problem. It was their receiver position.
I feel like
Walker.
they definitely raised their offensive floor with adding Jacobs and in
Yes,
between.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree, but like I feel like like for example, Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, yo, we were about that for the longest time. And I feel like they were one receiver away from being able to be a big difference maker in the league.
well, Jacobs was trending up. Well, more so in his prime, whereas Aaron Jones, like we see him now. I know he's on the Vikings, but last year he was all right. He wasn't bad, but it's just an older back with like injury questions and at a position like that, like I don't want to lose that in the playoffs. And it just I think obviously is an upgrade. Going from AJ Dillon's not good. He's not good at football. He's a really fun guy to watch, but I think if he was great, we would have seen it by now. And that's usually how it is with running backs. Like Jacobs brings you both what both of those guys can do in one guy, and I think it's really helped their offense. And then as far as McKinney goes, like he was a defensive player of the year candidate halfway through last season, and obviously Parsons is showing up at this point. And Love is also signed. All these guys are under contract, and they draft all the gaps. And this is like how you got to win a Super Bowl is having if you're gonna punch in to the this Chiefs dynasty, it's falling apart this year. Who's gonna insert themselves? I like the team with the raw quarterback with the super talented roster.
I agree.
You
So
know,
now if it doesn't work, do you blame the coach? Do you now switch up the coach?
well, it depends on what happens. If it's not because of injuries or something that's less in their control, maybe they get screwed. Let's just assume they fail to get it done versus, for instance, the Rams or maybe the Lions get the best of them in the playoffs, whoever it may be. I would say if it's the Rams, I would be like, I thought the Rams were better. I'm not really surprised. Like, you're also the youngest one, not you, maybe a top three youngest team in the NFL. That's the best thing
Yeah.
about all this. A lot of these guys are on young contracts. They draft well enough. They make some questionable decisions. But my point is, I think this is only just going to continue to trend the way it has been. And if it's not this year, just look out. Every year. Over the next three, I think they're coming. The Broncos team, we could say the same about though. I think Love is a little better than Bo Nix, but it's the same idea.
Yeah, yeah, we'll give you an update. Sean Tucker to her touchdown for the Bucks. Currently, the Falcons just threw about a 30-yard pass from Kirk Cousins to Kyle Pitts.
Let's go.
Absolutely breaking two ankles and ended up collapsing just to prevent himself from fumbling the ball, possibly. So great ball security and great play. They're right now on the Buccaneers 38-yard line, but we're good to go.
Okay. I like the Sean Tucker touchdown because I picked him up in a couple sleeper leagues, a couple dynasties, but I'm not start. I don't think I'm starting him this week since Bucky has returned. So, do you want to break into your game now, Dan? In what is it?
The Lions